Hello, Facebook land. Jen Plotnikoff here. So today is Saturday, and I'm a little bit late in getting started today. I was just doing a little bit of space and channeling in the Akashic Records, and I wanted to bring some of that Akashic energy to you guys today. So Saturdays are the day that I usually talk about different topics, from expanding our intuition to boundaries to how we can support ourselves in our personal practice and our spiritual practice and our being in the real world. Because here's the thing, we are spiritual beings embodied, and in this real world sometimes it can be challenging to really ground and anchor in spirit into the body. Some of us might have a little bit of what I call maybe embodiment trauma, or kind of a resistance to the physical and the physical world and the structural world, which stems from probably a lot deeper and further than you might consciously remember. So what I wanted to talk about today is the new moon. So happy new moon. And the reason why I'm calling it a portal is, if you're not already on my lunar Courage Ignitions meditation list, I will post a link for that to sign up. It is free. It's a free resource that I provide. And one of the things I did earlier today was I actually did some channeling for that, and channeling a few different resources, and really listening to what the Akashic energies had to say about this time and space. So for those of you who might be really into astrology or astrological events, you might have known in terms of the weather that there are some projections into 2020 being a really kind of big year, a really big revolutionary year, and depending on the lens, of course, that you perceive through. Some people are going to say it's a very tumultuous year. Really, it's going to be an evolutionary year, and evolution and growth is as difficult or wonderful as we make it to be. And so this is why it's neither bad or good, but the weight and the energy and what we bring in. If we come in, with guns a-blazing and swords a-waving into a battle, we're going to have a battle. That's just how it is. Our approach is to battle and slay. That is how these changes are going to arise for us. But if we go into a completely opposite perspective, if we're going into a receiving perspective, if we're actually doing this deep work, if we are finding our safety, if we're finding our resources, if we're relearning how to receive information in an integrated way, this will be a blossoming for a lot of us. So what I just wanted to offer is just this perspective, because again, it's change. It is neither good nor bad, but depending on how we come into it, depending on the attitude and the energy we bring, depending on the baggage and the traumas that we bring with us that may be resolved and maybe unresolved, maybe conscious, maybe subconscious, is going to really affect how difficult or how easy or how much of a struggle this is going to be. And it's also going to affect the speed of our evolution. So some of you may have been a little bit more familiar with this sort of like next level of manifestation. And if you're not familiar into that, there's tons of resources. You can kind of Google search that. I'm not going to talk too deeply about that today. But essentially, same thing with, I often talk about my work as being a lot more rapid, my approach being a lot more rapid than a lot of the traditional energy work approaches and body work approaches. And that's because I'm working with a different kind of the next level, if you will, of healing work. I like to call it resonance. That's what I call it. That's how I identify it. But essentially, it's really developing this healthy relationship with our being. It's developing what I call our foundations, so that it makes the next steps much easier. So for example, I kind of have a three-part process that I lead people through. Most of us try to start our healing process at step 3, and this is why it's a lot more work. It's a lot more of a load, right? It's like trying to build a house without first building a solid structural foundation, right? It is very difficult. You can still do it. It's going to take you longer. It's going to take you more energy. It's going to take you more resources. It's probably going to take you more time and money and struggle and strife, because building a house from the top down or from the middle through is much more of an arduous process than building a simple basic foundation first and then layering up, right? So the same thing with our healing process. One of the reasons why we often come in with guns a-blazing and battling is, first of all, it might be the energy that we have, succeeded in the world in thus far. And so this particular portal is calling us to really take an assessment, a stock, an energy assessment, a physical stock of what's going on in our health, in our life, because what we're called to do right now. So this piece has been actually coming energetically for a long, long time. And I spoke to this a little bit last Monday when I talked about some of the channeling work that I did around the equinox. So the equinox was this time for us to look at all of the fruits of our labor, all of what we have nurtured and grown and gathered and completed. And it's also that there was this time of kind of looking at what has completed, what needs to be recycled, and allowing the death process to finish its completion process. And this is where we're in right now. We're in the next little phase of that same energy. And what it's doing is it's preparing us for basically, what is the luggage? If you were moving house today, what are the precious things that are really vital that you want to embody and bring with you into your future life, into your future home, into your future inhabitants and embodiment of self and presence? So this is what we're doing right now. We're really taking stock. What are the things that we really need and want? What are the things that bring us joy and support us in the future self, the person that we are going to be emerging into? And it's also asking us to take stock at all of the things that might be in the attic. Maybe there are some old things that you can look at them lovingly and then go, okay, you know what? It's time to donate this. Someone is going to be overjoyed with this old toaster, or who knows what it is. Or perhaps you run into some old journals and they're things that you have completed and processed in your being, and it's time to have a big bonfire, celebrate the completions of those things, and actually release them so that you aren't taking that stuff with you, because it's not necessarily about packing light. It's about packing intentionally. It does not matter how big or small your luggage is into what you want to move into the future, right? I mean, if you are in a tiny little apartment and you're finally expanding into this huge mansion, you might be taking some things with you. You might also be purchasing a few new things for your new house, your new way of being. Just because you have it doesn't mean it needs to come with you. So the third layer, of course, is it's asking us to take stock of what are the unresolved things, because now for the next few months is our opportunity to come to peace and some kind of resolution with those things. Because if those things are going to help support us into the future, we need to deal with some of these past traumas. So one of the things that I've been really called to do is invite you into a deeper reflection into your internal process, a deeper support system. So this is something that I'm seeing from many different healers from many different aspects. But what I wanted to offer you is a tool. And actually, if you are on my list, you will see this as an invitation as well. But what I wanted to offer is kind of a mini energetic assessment of what's going on for you, taking these things into consideration, and what is it that will support you in healing what you need to heal, letting go of what you need to let go of, and identifying what are those things for you that are important that you need to take with you into the future. So the invitation is, if this is something you're interested in, I'm going to be offering a complimentary mini energy assessment, an assessment of what's going on in your own evolution into the future. It's a free call with me. It's a short call with me. And what I'm looking to do are two things. One, helping you understand what is your next step. This is the whole point of the work that I do, all of the work that I do, all of the offerings that I offer. So what I'd like for you is to be able to really step into the clarity of understanding, where do I need to go next to prepare myself for who I am becoming? So if that is something that is curious to you, again, this is a short, energetic assessment. And just as a disclaimer, I will be directing you into what support I think is the most appropriate for you based on the assessment. So that might be, here's some meditations you need to go into, or you need to do this, or it might be an invitation into the work that I do. It might be an invitation of working with me. So I just want to be clear about the essence, the intention is to support you. It's to help understand what you need to do and what is best going to support you into moving forward. So that might be working with me. That might be something entirely different. That might be to keep doing whatever it is you're doing. So it might be some affirmation that the support that you currently have, that's currently around you, perhaps you actually need to dive a little bit deeper into that. So if you are interested in that, I'll just say, you can comment in this video. Just put your hand up. You can use like the little hand up emoji, or just drop any of your favorite GIFs in the comments if you're interested, and I will follow up with you if you would like that complimentary energy assessment. So I just wanted to offer that as a tool. That's something that has been coming up, and actually something that yesterday I was speaking with one of my mentors, and I just realized that having that connection and that clarity was extraordinarily helpful for me. And this is a really important time, particularly for us light workers, for us healers, for us empathic people and intuitive people. This really is a shaking out of the dust, because you're going to need your gear in order and in good working condition into the next phase of this really exciting opening portal space that we are embarking upon in the next few months. So officially this comes again into the calendar year of 2020, and we're on the cusp of October. So we have October, November, we still have 3 months of work to do, and time and space to help really support ourselves into this next and exciting phase that is going to be a global space and place. So those are the little tools that I wanted to really speak to. 2 other things. So there was 3 things. One thing is offering an invitation for a free energy assessment into the future. The second thing was I'd mentioned that I have some also free energy tools for you, and one of them is some guided meditations and guided journeys to help support you. So each new moon and full moon, I email out a guided journey for you, as well as a little bit of information about how you can use this energy for this new moon or full moon to best support you. So if you are curious and you are wanting to connect and sign up for that, I'm actually going to put that into the comments. Oh goodness, apparently I have one moment. So I just realized that I'm signed out. Okay, hold on. So this is, I call them Courage Ignition. So if you are curious about signing up for the Courage Ignitions, that is the free mailing list. So I just posted the link in the comments for that. So just click on that. The one thing, just as a reminder, to make sure that you receive them, you do need to make sure that my email, which is movedfromwithin@gmail.com, is on your safe list. So perhaps, sorry, I got a little bit of a frog going on there. I know that different email systems, like if you use, for example, Outlook, I have many different mail systems that I use, but I found Outlook often is really terrible at differentiating what I want. It's often the things that I'm unsubscribing and junk mailing. It forgets that I have unsubscribed, and so I keep on getting emails from that, and the things that I do want to receive end up in my junk mail folder. So if you have signed up for that list and you're wondering where your meditation and journey is, just check your junk mail and make sure that you mark that email address as safe so that you receive those Courage Ignitions. Again, they come bi-monthly and they come on the lunar cycle. So I mail them out around the new moon. So if you haven't signed up yet, the current today's ignition will be going out at 7 p.m. Pacific time. So for those of you awaiting that, that's when you'll get it. And for those of you who are watching this now and over the next few hours for the course of the day, if you sign up now, you will get that for today. If you sign up later, if you're seeing this sometime in the future, you'll still have access to all of those all of the information, all of the meditation. So you also get access to the archive of all of the past journeys, and they are obviously designed in a way to support you right now, to work with the energy that's happening right now. However, they are incredibly intelligent and intuitive transmissions to be used at any time. So anytime, if there's a particular one that you're like, wow, that was really powerful for me, you can come back to that anytime you feel like it, anytime you need that sense. So this month's Courage Ignition is around connecting to our heart. And I've got a little bit of a little sneak peek into, maybe I won't go into that. I'll let it be a little surprise. But anyway, we're going to be diving into the alchemy of the heart. So if that's something that you're looking for a little bit of support in, particularly, you might be interested in this month's new moon ignition. So 1, 2. The third thing that I wanted to invite you into, the third piece of support, and actually I'm going to put that in right now, is my community. It is called Moved by Spirit. And I just wanted to remind you, for those of you who are in the group, and for those of you who are not yet in the group, every Sunday, the beautiful Rachel will be doing channelings, and I think that this month will be a wonderful time, particularly to pay attention. So she does card readings every Sunday, and so this Sunday, because tomorrow, you know, we're with this new moon energy over the next few days. So if you're doing intentioning, if you're doing journaling, if you still have yet to set up your altar for the equinox, the fall and autumnal equinox, today is a beautiful day. This weekend is a beautiful time to set yourself up something small. It does not have to be extravagant. I have set myself up a mini altar because I'm usually upstairs. However, my beautiful partner and my beautiful roommate are home and using that space right now. So I am in a different space. And so I've kind of set myself up a little mini altar that you can't see beside me, but it's my beautiful selenite I have this massive hunk of selenite, and I've made a small grid with some stones. I have a candle, and I have a couple other stones on the other side. So that's as simple as that. I might post some of my I might have posted actually some of my altar pictures in the past, but very simply, whether it's an art piece, whether it's a flower, a bouquet, or something that represents nature, because it's autumnal equinox, maybe it's something orange, a gourd, and I've got an orange candle burning right now. So, this is a wonderful time and space to create ourselves a bit of sacred space, sacred time. If you're a journaler, take out your pen and paper and come to really be with yourself for a moment. What is it that you want to become? Who are you becoming? What do you need to stop doing in order for you to say yes to what you need to be, who you need to be? So I think I'm going to leave you at that. Just a little quick recap of the 3 all free offerings that are available to you. One, just you can send me a private message. You can drop a comment or a GIF below if you're interested in a free energy assessment and next steps for what you need right now to help you prepare for the 2020 evolutional alignment, realignment energetically for all of us. So if you're looking for a little bit of clarity and guidance, what you need to, again, what has been completed, what you need to work on right now in order to complete to step into the future self, and what are the pieces you are bringing with you to really support you in that space. So that is, again, complimentary, short call with me. And 2 is the Courage Ignition. So that's the link that I put in the comments. 3 is, if you are interested in more of this, more community around this, you can join my community, Moved by Spirit. Again, if you are in the community or if you are interested in joining the community, look out for tomorrow. There will be more guidance and channeling through the cards. Thank you, Rachel, for providing this beautiful gift to us. I love to participate as well, so I will be definitely looking out for that. So 3 beautiful resources for you, all gifts. From the Akasha on my end, gifts from Rachel's intuition and beautiful channeling capacities on her end. I really invite you to dive deeply into yourself. Take a few days, take this weekend to spend some time with yourself, with your being, asking yourself, what is it that I need right now? What is going to support me? If you want a little bit of extra guidance and clarity on the bigger picture on that, then reach out to me. We can have a quick chat. So, happy new moon in Libra, everyone. I wish you so much love and support and blessings into this beautiful portal that we all are entering into. So I highly encourage you to do your work. Right now is a very important time, particularly for us light workers. Again, the way that we are going to be with this energy now, the way that we're going to emerge into the upcoming year is really up to us. We can make it as easy and light and soft and sweet and powerful as we want it to be. And we can also, on the other side, make it as challenging and difficult and sticky. Are you the kind of person that needs to be dragged by your heels into the future, into forward moving? So these are things that right now this portal is showing us that we don't have to be that way anymore. We don't have to identify with that anymore. We don't have to keep carrying those strifes with us, that heaviness. So love to you all. I am off to prepare for a beautiful Akashic reading for a beautiful being very shortly. So I'm off. Happy Saturday, happy weekend, happy new moon. Lots of love to you. Mwah, all my love.